Good morning everyone, I'm Charlene Berry. I'm the Consumer Empowerment Officer for the Consumer Council. I've got my colleague with me this morning.
Hi, I'm Keelan McCluskey. I'm the Head of Postal Policy in the Consumer Council.
With Black Friday coming up this Friday and Christmas is just around the corner, a lot of the shops are closing as well. A lot of us will be doing more online shopping than previously, so it's really important that we know what our rights are when we're doing this. So this morning, Keelan and I thought we'd go through some frequently asked questions that we've got on your online shopping rights. If you have any questions as we go through as well, please put those in the comments box. Hopefully we'll have a chance to get through some of your own questions as well if we don't cover everything. Keelan, if you're happy, I might just kick off.
Yeah, absolutely.
Okay, so the first question then is, I've bought some goods online. The estimated delivery date has passed and my order still hasn't arrived. What should I do?
Yeah, and that's quite a common one at the moment. So first thing I would say is your contract is with the seller and not the postal operator, and you'll probably hear me saying that a lot as we go through this. So if there is a delay in your delivery, get in contact with the seller. Your contract is with them and not with the postal operator. What I would also say is, as you'll probably know, there is delays because of COVID. Some parcels are taking longer than expected. So I would say please be patient if you can, but if you do need to get something urgently, do get in contact with your seller and request that it is an urgent delivery.
Thank you, Keelan. The second question then is, I've sent a parcel and paid for next day delivery, but it took longer to arrive. Am I entitled to compensation in this case?
You should be entitled to compensation. Technically it is a breach of contract. It's something that you have went into a contract with for next day delivery, and you should be entitled to a refund. However, if you're sending some items, it is so important to read the terms and conditions at the moment, because some parcel operators have actually suspended service level guarantees because of COVID reasons, and they can't always guarantee that the item is going to arrive next day, particularly if it's coming from GB into Northern Ireland. So what I would say is, if it's something that you've paid for next day delivery, make a complaint. And to make a complaint, what we would say is always take photographs of your item, and have your receipt, ensure it's well packaged, and get in touch with the service provider that you have used. But if you have any troubles at all, we have a fantastic team here in the Consumer Council, so get in contact with their team.
I'll just give out our free phone number as well actually on that. It's 0800 121 6022, just to speak to one of our team as well if you do have any issues with that. Keelan, thank you. The third question we've received then is, my online shopping arrived but the box and the contents were damaged. I complained to the retailer, but they said it was the courier's fault and I should complain to them. What are my rights in this case then?
So again, don't be fobbed off by a seller. It's actually the seller's responsibility. When you go into an online contract, the contract is between you and the seller, and then the seller's contract is with the delivery company. So it is up to them to get in touch with the delivery company and follow that up. But they have a contract and a duty to you to replace anything. And so what I would say is get in touch with them, take photographs and report the damage immediately, and raise a dispute with the seller and ask for a full refund or a replacement. And if they don't, and if you're having difficulties, in this case I would say contact Consumer Line, because of their relationship with Trading Standards. So Consumer Line's telephone number is 0300 123 6262.
And that's a really useful piece of advice, because I'm sure people are getting sent between the seller and the parcel operator and all of that. So that's really good to know in terms of who your actual contract is with and who the responsibility is with, Keelan. So then question 4 is, the tracking for my online order says it has been delivered, however I have not received my items. What should I do?
Again, firstly, get in contact with the seller. They have a lot of details behind the scene. As I say, the contract is between the parcel operator and the seller, so they will have details of where the item is and can get in touch with the parcel operator to see whereabouts it is, particularly if it's tracked. Again, please be patient at the moment. There is delays because of COVID. A lot of staff are off at the moment in some of the parcel operators, so there has been occasions of delays that we've been hearing about. But if you haven't received the item, you are still entitled to a refund or a replacement. So again, follow it up for a complaint. There is a really useful guide that the Consumer Council have at the moment. It's called the Guide to Shopping Safely Online. This has all of your information about all of your consumer rights whenever you're ordering stuff online. So this will keep you right if you and you can get that from our website.
Yeah, that's right. We can send a wee printed copy as well, or as you say, Keelan, you can download that from the website. Question 5 then, I have several parcels to send to friends and family. I think this will be particularly relevant just at the moment for a lot of people, Keelan. I've heard that there are many different delivery companies who can do this. How do I know which one I should choose then?
Yeah, as you say, parcels is actually a competitive market, so you do have more than one provider that you can choose from. But it isn't simple. You think just sending a parcel is very simple, but there's so much that you have to actually consider. Believe it or not, you have to consider, obviously you want value for money and you want it to be a convenient location to where you are, but you have to consider if the items that you're sending are valuable or time sensitive. And most importantly at the moment, and a lot of people don't know this, is that the items that they're sending, if they're classified as dangerous goods or restricted or prohibited. So the everyday items like aftershave, batteries for mobile phones, even nail polishes, believe it or not, are actually restricted goods. So if that happens, you send these items, they get put into like a quarantine and you don't get them back again. So you will lose your items that you send. So it's really, really important that you read all about it. So what I think is sending letters and parcels, just another wee useful guide that gives you all the links and everything that you need to know. And I would look at this before you send any item. Also, as I mentioned before, you do have a lot of choice when it comes to sending parcels, and we have a really useful tool on our website. It's called Postal NI, and I would advise customers to go on to that and look at it in terms of you put in your address and it brings you up all around in 5 mile radius or whatever radius that you select your nearest pick up or drop off point, so you have a selection of couriers you can choose from. So it is a really useful wee tool.
That's so useful about the restricted items as well. Loads of things I would never think of
You
then
don't,
would
yeah.
fall into that.
Absolutely.
My goodness. Okay, question 6 then. I have concerns about deliveries as I'm not at home during the day and I might miss my delivery. So what can I do then?
Yeah, this can happen. I know a lot of people are working from home at the moment, but those that aren't, what I would say is whenever you are ordering a good, some retailers allow you to specify a safe place, and if you can do that, it's worth doing, because then you know that where your item is delivered to will actually be safe. I would also consider maybe getting it delivered to family and friends that you know are at home, and that's, it's always important to kind of think ahead and depending on how long it'll take for delivery. Also, when we were talking about Parcel Pal, what that is technically called is pick up and drop off points. So what you consider is instead of getting it delivered to your own address, you can get it delivered to an alternative pickup location. So it may give you that option depending on what seller that you use. So it's worthwhile looking into that.
Okay, thank you. Okay, question 7 then is sort of the opposite side of that, Keelan. So I'm worried about delivery staff coming to my house due to social distancing and COVID-19. However, my online order says it's tracked and requires proof of delivery. I don't want to lose my order, so what can I do? Very common scenario, I think, at the moment for people, Keelan, and you can sort of understand the concerns around that as well.
Absolutely, with safe social distancing. What I do know is from working with all operators have put in place safe social distancing measures for their staff. And they're all different, they're not all the same. Postal operators currently don't expect customers to sign for their items, so you don't actually have to physically sign. A lot of them just ask for your name and you can write it down.
Yeah.
Some of them actually take a photograph of where they have it delivered, so that's their proof of delivery. And other ones actually use GPS signals. So there is a range, and it really depends on the operator that you use. Also, it's worth pointing out we have a winter postal fact sheet on our website, and it's really helpful because it can help you check for any delays or gives you advice on what to do around the COVID situation and postal services at the moment. So it's really worth checking it too.
Great. I know anything that I've had arrive, it's just been a little knock and a wave and the sort of that kind of thing, But yeah, you can see the sort of concerns around that, absolutely. And question 8 then, I was shopping online and I saw an offer for a free UK delivery. When I got to the checkout, there was a delivery fee for Northern Ireland. What are my rights? That's probably quite a frequent thing as well then.
It is really common, and it's so frustrating for consumers. I've had it many a time myself, and you know it is frustrating. So what the first thing to say is, unfortunately, sellers are allowed to charge more for delivery to Northern Ireland. They can do that, but the law says that if they are to make geographic restrictions, or if there's geographic charges, that this must be clear and upfront at the beginning of any ordering process, so on the home page, or at least before you check out. So if that isn't clear and upfront, the seller is in breach of consumer law, and you can report it to Consumer Line, particularly if you've went all the way through the process and actually paid for it, and then they come back and say, actually, we can't deliver it to Northern Ireland. Get in touch with Consumer Line, because they have breached consumer law by doing that. So there is a really useful website, and it's www.deliverylaw.uk. And it's a really helpful website that if you do experience anything like that, there's loads of templates and information, and there's actually a section where you can report this to Consumer Line. So it is worth it. It asks you if you're a consumer or a seller. It gives advice to both consumers and to sellers as well.
Okay, that's a great little website then. Maybe pop that in the comments box as well, just at the end. Keelan, would be really helpful for people. Okay, and then the last question that we're in terms of our frequently asked ones that we have here is, I've been receiving some suspicious looking mail recently. Some of these letters are saying that I have won money. Is this a scam?
Fortunately, this sounds like a scam. If you haven't entered a competition, you can't win it. And
unfortunately not.
I know, and it's always that saying, you know, if it looks too good to be true, it probably isn't. So, as I say, if you've won a competition, you should never have to pay money to claim your prize, not even a stamp. You shouldn't have to do that. So I would caution anyone who has ever received an email like this. There is things you can do in terms of getting junk mail. You can put your name on a mailing preference service, so it's an MPS online service that you can put your name on and say that takes you off all of these databases that may have captured. It does take about 6 months before you get through all of the databases, but you will notice that the amount of junk mail that you get actually dramatically drops after that time. And all of this information is on our website, so you can go onto our website and there's loads of information on junk mail and scam mail. So if you have any doubt at all, check the website or get in touch with us.
Okay, great, Keelan, thank you. So that's sort of the main sort of frequently asked questions that we've covered there. But certainly if we haven't had a chance this morning to actually answer any of your own questions, please do put them in the comments section and we will definitely get in touch with you. Or contact our free phone number, it's 0800 121 6022. Thank you very much, and thank you, Keelan.
No problem.